Today is 725th day that I'm here to share lessons to learn. I'm learning. I hope those will support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about delayed intelligence. Delayed intelligence. What delayed intelligence means is that means that you make a choice, but after a while you realize that that choice was bad. A lot of times we make choices, bad choices, even though that we know that those choices are bad. And after a while, the intelligence kicks in and you realize that maybe you need to make a better choice. There are a lot of choices that people make, even though they understand and maybe it's not the best choice, but they hope, believe, and they really believe that somehow it will turn out in a good way, even though that has very little chance to go in a positive way. So today we'll share 10 things that really people make decisions or choices. And a lot of times people realize that they made a wrong choice, even though that they knew that this is not the right choice. So number one is impulsive buying. Impulsive buying. So that means a lot of times people buy some kind of clothing. Maybe they looking to find some beautiful jacket. Oh, I need a new jacket. Then they come back with the jacket home and then realize, oh, maybe I didn't need to buy that. It could be a lot of different things. It could be a car. It could be multiple things. It could be a laptop, phone, anything in between. And we come back and then maybe we're not necessary. We don't need that yet. Like phone as well. Like for example, we have a phone for a couple of years, maybe for a year, and then that phone works perfectly fine. But for some reason, we think that we need a new phone. We earned for any reason. A lot of times the deserve it's a very sad and difficult word because we sometimes feel entitled for something. We work very hard, but we do not have results. And now because we believe that we're supposed to deserve to have some results to show, and we buy a phone, we buy a clothing, we buy a new laptop, or anything in between. But after buying it, we realize that that was a bad choice. So we need to be very, very careful not to buy things that really doesn't add value at the moment and based on a feeling of deserving. Because if you feel that you deserve, a lot of times is that you don't. I know that I have made that choice as well. And we need to earn by results, not by really actions. And now I believe that we're able to recharge. So that means every single person deserves a break. Everyone deserves a chance to recharge, to reflect. But sometimes we don't need to buy things to really feel deserving of something. Because everyone deserves a break, but not everyone deserves buy a new laptop or new phone while old phone works perfectly fine. Number two is unhealthy eating choices. That's very easy. Now, a lot of times we go to a store, we eat because we are super hungry, we don't care about the health. But after we eat, we realize, oh, why I bought this junk food? Why didn't I went to a restaurant where I could buy some healthy food? That's why sometimes it's good to have always in the backpack. At least I have healthy food and a healthy snack in my backpack that I could reduce the hungriness. Because when we are super, super hungry, a lot of times we could make a bad choice and take food that is in front of us rather than really waiting extra 15-20 minutes until we're able to get that healthy food. Number three is procrastination. A lot of times we procrastinate, think that we delay for 10-20 minutes, maybe an hour, maybe a day. And after you procrastinate, maybe a month, it depends on what kind of things. And after that, you're really thinking, why I delayed? Now I need to rush. And that is delayed intelligence come in. And you knew that the deadline is coming. You knew that. Everyone knows that. But for some reason, sometimes we delay. And of course, when delay, last minute, we get stressed out. We have anxiety. We need to rush to finish the things on time. Number four is skipping exercise. Sometimes we feel that it's a good choice to rest and skip something. For example, exercise. But then you skip and before sleep you feel that, oh, why I skipped exercise? Now I don't feel that I gave my best today. Sometimes it kicks in that guilt in the same day. Sometimes it could be next day because we do not have enough energy to do some things. Because for me, especially, is that every single time when I do exercise, it energizes me. But what I learn about exercise is that a lot of times people do not go to exercise because they don't have time, energy for 2 hours exercise, but 1 hour exercise, maybe 30 or 40 minutes exercise. But I find what works for me is if I really look super tired that I don't want to exercise, what I do, I said I go to a gym to do as much as I can. It could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes. It doesn't matter how long. It's just building the habit to make sure this routine is in place. So a lot of times when you are in a gym, you will realize, are you really tired? Or are you just fakely tired and lazy? Because more 99% of time when I go to a gym for 5-10 minutes, I still end up being for an hour because I realized that it was just a laziness kicking in. But sometimes I was working out for 5-10 minutes because I was actually tired. And then, of course, was able to go home. But if you're not going to a gym and really trying out to exercise, a lot of times you will not figure out is that actually you need to rest or this is just a laziness kicking in. Number 5 is ignoring red flags in relationships. Ignoring red flags in relationships. That could be a significant other, and it could be business relationships, or it could be like friends relationships. It could be multiple relationships. So it means when you feel that something is off here, maybe you don't trust them, and like guessing like where is that feeling is coming from, because ignoring red flags, it could be that you will hurt because of that. You'll start building and those connections and will building business relationships, maybe significant other relationships, and sooner or later you'll start to say that why I pursue this relationship, why? And there's a late intelligence. I knew that this will be wrong, but again, we pursued it because we hope that someone will change. That's most time we believe that other person will change. Not saving. Number 6 is not saving for the future. This is a big one. I probably have fallen into that as well in the past for different reasons. But yeah, so when we live our lives and we live paycheck to paycheck, so that means that we spend as much as we earn. It doesn't matter how much we earn. We can earn 100K a year. We're able to live paycheck to paycheck. We can able to 50K, 150K, but we're still able to live paycheck to paycheck because we increase our lifestyle based on what we make. But not saving could be detrimental for the future and really for the mindset and for the emotions, because when you know that you have that safety net, that if something happens to your income, you have 6 months, a year of runaway to find something else, find something that you're able to start making money with or for. And that means you feel much more safe rather than always living to paycheck. But what something happens to your paycheck, everything falls apart, is huge stress. And of course, when something happens, then the lady that just comes, why didn't save for it? Why didn't I expect that something will happen? My car will break down, my health will go way sideways, or anything in between. So that means saving is essential. You don't need to save all the time, but you need to have that safety net. It doesn't matter how much you make, as I said. You need to still be able to save just a little bit every single month, no matter what, to be able to have that saving build up, even to build that habit of doing that. Number 7 is not listening to advice. Now, a lot of times people do not know what to do, and they start looking for advice, and they finally find a person who could give advice, but they don't listen to that advice. They say, oh, like I know better. I don't know better, you don't know better, we don't know better a lot of times because we do not know what to do in a certain situation when we never experienced that. So when we go to a person who knows that, he have been in this situation, he will give, he might give that, or she might give amazing advice if he's expert in that. Now, of course, we need to be very careful taking advice, because if a person is giving advice, opinion, without knowing it, we of course will not take advice because we end up exactly where they are. But if we are taking advice from a person who knows what he's talking about, we need to take advice, because a lot of times what that turns out, that when we do not take advice, we learn a lesson from the experience and we didn't learn from experience of other person. And then of course, oh, why didn't I take advice? Now I understand. And this is a big thing now. Now I understand. Because when we pursue things, of course, some people are able to learn from their own experience, and some people are able to learn from other experience. But when you're able to learn from other experience, you're able to really make sure that you are growing much faster. Because if you're growing only from your own experience, you don't have as much time. But when you're growing from other experience, it means you have put a lot of time in a short period of time. Number 8 is not wearing sunscreen. That's probably one of the easiest ones. Not wearing sunscreen. Probably I have been read, and I know a lot of people who go to sunny places and they forget sunscreen, and then after they are disappointed because in the night it's very hard to sleep. And this is it's immediate delayed intelligence, because you know in the night that when you're sleeping and you're barely able to turn on the back, that this was a terrible decision. Forget sunscreen or not to put sunscreen, because your skin is red for a couple days. And of course, and then you're looking for other ways how you can reduce the pain of your skin. Number 9 is investment regret. Investment regret. And that's, again, this is a multiple different things, because it could be investment regret that you invested into something that went to zero, or you lost the money, or it could be that you didn't invest the money into something and there is huge investment regret because your money kept in a bank and they didn't grow and they lost even more value. I think that there are more people are regretting losing opportunity to invest. Now, of course, I know that people who are investing the money for one time, they lose the money and they say, oh, I'm not a good investor, and they never invest again. And that's a terrible thing to do, because a lot of times when you invest first time, this is a payment for your education. So every single time when you invest and you lose money, you need to understand that this time, this money is investment in your education. Because next time, if you reflect on your lesson, next time you'll not do the same thing. Now you know what not to do. Now, if you do not invest, it means that we need to invest. And again, it could be an investment into stocks, bonds, real estate, all the investment opportunities. But at the same time, we're able to invest in ourselves, in our education, in our mentorship and coaching and guidance. So that means it could be an investment regret that we didn't invest in our growth. We didn't invest in our opportunity to get better and start making money, because a lot of times people, I want to invest in education. 2 years went by and, unfortunately, why didn't I invest 2 years ago into education? Now I could be much further ahead. And that delayed intelligence sometimes is after a week, after 2 years, sometimes after a decade. After a decade, you realize that, yeah, I really wanted to invest in that education, but I didn't. Now, what to do? Of course, the best time to invest in education was 10 years ago, but still, now is still good time to invest in your growth, in your education. It's very, very important. And number 10 is overcommitting. Overcommitting. Delayed intelligence. Sometimes we commit to things that we're not supposed to. We say yes to friends, we say yes to businesses, we said yes to a lot of different opportunities, and we overcommit. And overcommitment does, which spreads our energy too thin. When we have our energy too thin, what happens? We're not able to really put energy to one thing that to start seeing results. Because a lot of times I have seen so many amazing people who does 5 things at the same time, and they looking for some kind of result, but they're not able to get any result because not one of those 5 things had enough work done to really start seeing results. And now, because they don't see results from the 5 things, they quit all 5 or quit. And they're asking why not seeing results. And the big thing is that when we commit, we need to commit to always to one thing. Because when I think about successful people, successful Elon Musk, for example, he pursued one business at a time. Now, like a lot of times it's like, oh, look, like they pursue like 5, 10 business at the same time. Yeah. Now they are full-time business owners. They have experienced a lot of things. At the beginning, they pursue one business, scale to extraordinary results. They make a lot of money, and then they're able to spread out. But I truly believe that first success needs to be done through one area. Now, I think that there's some people who might not be able to do that. Might be but probably like only like 1 of 10 people who are really more better when they spread a little bit more thin. But I think that 90% of people really need to focus on one thing until they're able to get out of that shell to understand exactly what needs to be done. And then, of course, they're able to spread a little bit more thin. So those are 10 things that I would love to share with you today. That delayed intelligence, that you do something and after a while realize that, or you don't do something and you realize that that was a bad choice. And of course, there's more things. Now, one thing that is that always when we make a decision or don't make a decision, because not make a decision is a decision itself. So when we do that, a lot of times we need to say that biggest thing is that what will happen after 2 years when I make that decision and when I do not make this decision? And are you okay with that? Because a lot of times, because we do not ask that question, we make a decision, one choice that really we do not like. So I hope you will reflect on your decisions, on your choices on a daily basis, and really start implementing that reflection before making a choice. If I will like a result that I'm getting from this choice, from this decision. If yes, then of course take it, because delayed intelligence is a lot of times regretful, because delayed intelligence is coming with regret. Now, of course, with regret, you're still able to take a right choice at that moment, but we probably lost a month, a day, maybe a year, maybe a decade. So it's up to you if you want to reflect and do something about it, because I made a lot of choices, bad choices, and I had experienced delayed intelligence, and I want to reduce that as much as I can. So I hope you choose win, and see you tomorrow.